We love a holiday.
Pure indulgence.
It's a chance to take time out,
Hang out in villas, drink cocktails, be a bit bougie.
Oh, I need one of those.
relax, recharge.
And you can watch the world go by.
It's fantastic.
Whether we're jetting off to foreign climes
Tiny little bit of paradise.
Great hotel, lovely food.
or enjoying a staycation,
You have a range of places you can go camping. You've got forests, you've got sort of coastal areas, you've got rolling hills.
when these holidays go right,
What wonderful, carefree times you can have.
Exhilarating.
life can be peachy.
It's just an incredible experience.
But when things go horribly wrong, you'll be all at sea.
Bam! I might not make it out of this.
Coming up, a trip of a lifetime to the Bahamas ends up in shark horror.
Just happened so fast.
Have these people not seen Jaws?
A tropical holidaymaker is shocked to find the beach in her hotel room.
It was just water.
My God.
And a camping trip
Oh, look at that.
goes a midge too far.
It's literally like a formal torture.
This is a nightmare.
We've got the people who were there.
I couldn't believe my eyes. I was so shocked.
When holidays go horribly wrong. Spanish beach holidays see 15 million Brits visiting every year. So it's just as well that there are 48 islands and almost 5,000 kilometres of coastline to fit us all in on our family getaways.
Beach holidays are so popular for families.
Let the kids run free, play with a bucket spade, and the parents can just literally sit there and sunbathe.
And some R&R in the sun is exactly what parents want when it's the all-important once-a-year summer holiday.
You just want to get away from daily life and enjoy some indulgence, and you jolly well deserve it.
And no one was more deserving than Dave, a busy father of one, who together with his equally busy wife Michelle couldn't wait for their family time in the sun.
Worked hard all year, and this was our yearly family holiday. We couldn't wait together.
And there was only one place for it.
Going to Benidorm, we knew it was going to be like a sunny Blackpool.
Benidorm is very love it or hate it.
Benidorm was the first really big resort that Spain created, and for a lifetime it has been delivering great experiences.
A lot of fun, cheap beer, cheap food. What's not to like?
We're looking forward to getting away and letting our daughter wander off and make new friends.
Their idyllic hotel by the beach ticked all the boxes.
Checked in, everything looked good. Got into our room, overlooking the pool. Looked great. Just imagine ourselves just relaxing, kicking back. Couldn't wait to start enjoying our holiday.
When dawn broke, Dave and family weren't yet at the pool. They were still in their room.
Really looking forward to relaxing around the pool that day. Opened the curtains and looked out. We noticed that everybody was queuing up, ready to go and get their sunbeds.
Look at them at the starters line. Getting ready. On the other side of the line, the little cheeky devil.
We noticed people try and get their head start on everybody else.
Look, they're all inching forward. Look, they're all inching forward. And they're off. They're off. Look at them. They're off.
The lifeguard blew his whistle, and then everybody just went for it.
And they're off. They're off. Look at them. They're off. Look at them.
These guests just go crazy.
I just thought it looked like a horse race.
Look at them at the starters line. Getting ready.
They're chomping at the bit. They're pushing at the tape.
All inching forward. Look, they're all inching forward. And they're off. They're off. Look at them. They're off. Look at them.
I want to be in the front.
Properly
I want the first four.
fighting.
I want this one.
I noticed these two women running for the one sunbed, which was right next to the pool.
The blonde one's getting very aggressive.
They were pushing, they were shoving. Horrendous the way people were going on just to get a sunbed.
Oh my goodness.
It's a beach holiday. Relax.
That's not the way you should be behaving on a holiday where there's kids around.
There was towels flying everywhere. It was bedlam.
Over a sun lounger.
It's absolutely unreal.
It's ridiculous. They need more beds, so it's not fair, is it? And it's calm.
The hot-headed sun lovers did eventually put their differences to bed.
So late that day, the same woman walked into the restaurant as if nothing had happened.
So the relaxing beach holiday that Dave had expected might finally begin.
I've been on a few package holidays before, but this is the first time I've seen anything like this.
Jet off to the continent on a beach holiday and you're guaranteed some of life's simple pleasures.
I like to wiggle my toes and just let the water just wash over my feet.
The sun on your face, it's all warm, the crashings of the waves.
And if you decide on a far-flung destination, you get all that and more.
Beautiful trees, beautiful islands, beautiful ocean, beautiful wildlife.
A beach holiday should be about pure indulgence.
And indulgence was just what student Rachel had in mind for an extended beach holiday.
I was in my final year of uni and I was like, you know what? I want to travel. It's a really big passion of mine. I just really wanted to go out and explore. And I chose Southeast Asia.
As part of a fabulous 9-month trip, Rachel and her boyfriend headed off to the beautiful Indonesian island of Bali.
It's really chilled, it's got lots of temples.
When you think of Bali, immediately the image of a postcard just comes into your mind.
If you're looking to spend months somewhere, Bali is the place.
Rachel planned a 4-week stay on the island to really appreciate everything that it had to offer.
Be able to go hiking, see amazing beaches and experience like lots of local cultures.
It's one of those places that you scroll along your Instagram feed or your Twitter feed and you see pictures of Bali and you go, that looks incredible. This is like Instagram-worthy place.
After exploring what Bali had to offer, for their final week, the couple decided on some time at a blissful beach resort.
We got a really nice luxury room and it was on the ground floor in a hotel that was 5 minutes from the main beach. The weather was really nice and warm. It was just a really nice way to make memories and celebrate the end of uni. We went to bed early. We had planned to go to the beach club the next day, so we wanted to be super fresh for that.
However, while Rachel and her boyfriend slept soundly, outside something was stirring.
Bali is in one of those areas of the world where you do get really extreme weather.
When it rains, it pours.
The force and power of nature can be a spectacular thing to behold. You have to remember these are incredible forces.
This ain't good. This is not what I think about when I think about Bali.
The storm had raged for 5 hours.
My God.
Is your life in danger?
At about 3 a.m., I woke up. I tried to turn on the flashlight on my phone. So I reached over. My phone was not there. It was just water. Oh my God.
The idea that you could wake up, turn on a lamp, and the lamp isn't even there.
The electricity was all still on. All the plug sockets were filled. I was freaking out.
With the water now at hip level and still rising fast, there was no time to waste.
The fact that we were in a ground floor room really did start to hit us.
It must have felt like she was in some kind of a nightmare.
Reminds you of a scene from the Titanic.
The mayhem was the result of a nearby river bursting its banks during the catastrophic monsoon storm.
I just jumped off the bed, would start fishing around. My whole suitcase was submerged and clothes were ruined. Laptop, dead. AirPods, dead.
What an absolute nightmare.
Things were like coming out of the toilet. I think the plumbing was just messed up.
The deadly floods resulted in loss of life as roads collapsed and villages were washed away in landslides. Rachel and her boyfriend were extremely lucky to have got off so lightly.
My laptop was completely gone. I lost all my files, so I had to get a replacement, which was a lot of money.
We all go on holiday expecting a wonderful experience, but of course, beach holidays can go wrong.
Ultimately, the dream beach holiday I had planned with my boyfriend went wrong. But I hope to return one day to Bali and make more memories.
From glistening white sand to rich volcanic black sand, and from secluded to party, beaches have something for everyone.
What do we love about beach holidays? Well, it's the fact that there's a beach.
I have discovered the joy of beach holidays. Sitting there doing nothing, going for a swim in the sea.
Beach holiday is actually one of those things that we go, oh, yeah, I need one of those.
One person who really needed it was busy online stationery company owner Monique.
I love being by the sea. It's one of those places where I can really go, relax, chill out. I'm actually convinced that maybe I was a mermaid in a previous life.
Sounds fishy. But there's nothing mythical about the good old British seaside.
You don't often think of Britain as being a beach holiday destination. We've got miles of coastline right here that you can enjoy.
Monique and friend Emma decided to blow out the cobwebs by going to an iconic British beach.
I have been to Brighton before. I love it.
Brighton is one of the UK's most popular beach destinations.
The British seaside holiday is a national institution. It's something we've been doing for hundreds and hundreds of years.
The fashion may have changed, but the vibe hasn't.
It's really fun, it's got some really great shops, it's a little bit hippie.
The sights, the sounds, the smells, fish and chips, the carousel, I think it's absolutely wonderful.
Exactly what Monique and Emma thought, so they headed south to enjoy the vibrant seaside town.
The plan was for us just to head down to the beach, have a couple of drinks and just enjoy the sunshine.
You grab a drink, you sit there and you can watch the world go by.
For the full British seaside experience, Monique and Emma decided to go one step further.
We'd seen a couple sat on the beach eating some chips. We were like, that's a good idea.
But at £8 a portion, they weren't exactly cheap as chips.
£8?
Brighton. Each one's worth £1 in terms of the number she got there.
For chips? Is that how much?
Wow, yeah, that's Brighton.
Nonetheless, Monique purchased the pricey chips and made her way back where Emma was waiting.
It was like Hitchcock's The Birds. They were really, really close. I could feel them. The noise was terrifying.
I would not want to be this woman.
We all know the rules, right? Seagulls, they know what they're doing.
Just out of the corner of my eye, I clocked this enormous seagull.
Brighton has these legendary seagulls that are awfully aggressive.
If you could really look onto their skin, I'm sure they've got tattoos and they're probably smoking.
I made eye contact with this seagull. We were literally eyeball to eyeball. He let out this almighty squawk.
You rather chuck the chips and just run, or you keep the chips, which you're really looking forward to, and just run.
I threw them, just chucked them both out.
The only way sometimes to deal with a seagull attack is to just get rid of the food.
There were no chips left, all gone. I was certainly in shock afterwards. I sat down and I thought, what just happened there?
There's a little pyramid going on there. Chip shop, seagulls. She's going to go back and get some more chips, isn't she? I mean, it just makes sense. It just makes sense.
But it was down to that one seagull.
It's because eye contact was made.
He definitely was the leader of the pack.
That was the signal. Let's have her.
You don't can't walk through a British beach with uncovered food. Those seagulls, they had every right to take it. They were open.
Yep, that was certainly a day at the beach ruined.
Might have learnt my lesson from that, and I will be sticking to eating the chips inside a cafe.
On a Spanish beach holiday, you can enjoy long, lazy days catching rays before cooling off with a refreshing sundowner. And if you've had your siesta in Ibiza, you can get your fiesta on.
Ibiza is a very famous beach holiday destination.
People go there to hang out in villas, drink cocktails, be a bit bougie.
Lovely white sand, long beaches. You can relax, you can party, and then you can sleep it all off on the beach the next day. It's absolutely perfect.
Wedding venue manager Emma wanted the perfect place to celebrate hitting the big 5-0, with a beach holiday along with sister Nikki, 2 other siblings, and mum.
Every year, since Sarah the eldest turned 50, we decided that we'd all go away together to celebrate the 50th with Mum as well. I'd always wanted to go to Ibiza. None of us had been there before.
Ibiza is one of those places that you do go for a milestone holiday.
We were really keen to do some beach clubs because we'd seen that there were these really cool beach club vibes.
And so the week of late summer sun, sea and sangria in a beach view villa began.
We'd taken a long time to research this place. As you approached, there was like this beautiful white villa. It had this beautiful showpiece window that overlooked the infinity pool. Whether it was more sitting there in the morning having coffee or in the evening with your glass of wine, you could just take in this incredible view.
The weather was just what you'd imagine Ibiza to be. Blue skies, it was lovely.
The sun set on 2 glorious days as they looked forward to more of the same and celebrating in style. However, the next morning, the skies looked very different.
The normal, beautiful view from that glass window had gone. It was almost like a fog.
Ibiza's season is quite clear. It finishes at the end of September and October. That's when the weather starts to change.
Come here, I'm soaking.
And sadly, it didn't seem to be lifting.
It almost felt like this mist was closing in on the villa.
Bloody hell.
You'll have a tsunami.
Very, very quickly, what had been sort of just an average foggy day was actually getting quite scary.
So it's too bad. Oh my God.
It was just so sudden that it became this crazy storm. The trees were almost bent double. We were being battered from all sides.
And Mother Nature hadn't finished yet.
We suddenly found ourselves in a tornado.
When a tornado hits, it's an incredibly powerful force, winds whipping up into the hundreds of kilometers an hour.
It was chaotic.
It was really frightening.
It just came out of nowhere.
It was like a scene from a horror movie.
I was petrified. The noise of that was deafening. It felt like the end of the world.
It must have been absolutely terrifying.
You don't know whether you're about to be hit.
All hell broke loose.
Get in here! The trees come through the window. Were you videoing that?
It was like utter chaos.
Vicky, there's glass.
You don't know whether the whole villa's going to cave in.
I dread to think what would have happened.
One of us could have been killed.
A lot of trees around here. If one has already hit, is there going to be another tree that's going to come through the villa?
It had taken a full hour for the tornado to pass, and the beautiful Beachview Villa now lay in ruins.
Looking around, there was complete devastation. There was cars under trees.
With the villa uninhabitable, their holiday agents had to provide them with an alternative accommodation.
Having spent so long choosing a villa, it was nowhere near the villa that we'd come from.
The 140-kilometre-per-hour winds had wreaked havoc across the island, cutting power and uprooting hundreds of trees, causing significant damage.
The whole atmosphere of the holiday had gone. We were all not in a good place. I don't think I'll ever forget my 50th.
Accommodation is one of the most important elements of our holiday. We all want our rooms to be clean, spacious, and somewhere we can relax. And one of the most important rooms in the suite will be the smallest, the sanctuary. Fortunately for us, toilets abroad have improved a lot in the past few decades. One British holidaymaker was visiting Thailand, enjoying a romantic getaway when his girlfriend thought she saw something in the hotel toilet.
What's that? That is weird.
Instead of phoning reception and letting them deal with it, he went to take a closer look himself.
No.
This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Then it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
I don't have very many worst nightmares, but I gotta say, finding a lizard in my toilet is probably one of them.
And first thing you saw was that forked tongue. Imagine sitting down on the loo and looking, oh, no thanks.
Is just so frightening because you're going to open the lid to that toilet to have a you-know-what, and there is a lizard. And it's not in a hurry to leave.
Why is it down the toilet? What is that? Does it live there?
I tell you what, I would never use a toilet ever again.
I'll be doing my business in a bucket and putting it down there.
You should always be very cautious on foreign toilets.
One of the most important features of your package holiday hotel accommodation is the humble shower. Having a good or bad one can affect your holiday substantially.
Hotel showers are getting more and more elaborate, and they're kind of trying to do things to make it more exciting.
While holidaying in Rome, one young man was so impressed by his room's shower that he took to social media to demonstrate its features.
This shower has just definitely got it in for him.
What is he doing?
It was such a delight to see this guy struggling.
There's something above you, there's something behind you, and there's all these different buttons.
For a shower, I just want an on and off button, hot, cold, somewhere in between.
You need a degree these days to just work out how to use a shower in your hotel room.
Give me one shower head, please. Make it good pressure, good water temperature.
If anyone out there has actually used all these different options in a shower, I would be amazed.
The popularity of camping has certainly added to the staycation boom, with most holidaymakers saying exploring the great British outdoors is a major reason they're staying put.
Camping doesn't have to be about going far away.
We're so fortunate in the UK. We've got so many beautiful destinations to go camping.
and perhaps none more beautiful than Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland definitely up there as one of the best.
It's a wonderful area to walk.
You have a range of places you can go camping. You've got forests, you've got sort of coastal areas, you've got rolling hills. Mourne Mountains is the main mountain range. Probably the place I love to go camping the most.
And for filmmaker Stephen, the great outdoors is his great passion.
I've done mountain running, I do hiking, wild camping, cycling, paddleboarding, sort of any outdoor hobby. I've usually given it a shot.
And on one occasion, Stephen and his friend David headed out looking forward to some downtime in the mountains.
I look like a reindeer. It was going to be sunny, low wind, fantastic sunset. It just looked absolutely perfect.
It wasn't long before they found their ideal pitch.
We could see the camp spot, the sun was still shining, mountains in the background, river running past. We were just about finished getting pitched when we realised there was quite a lot of midges here. Have I got any midges on my face?
Even the word midges, they sound quite harmless, quite cute, but absolutely en masse, they're horrific.
They get everywhere, they are horrible.
Mistake that I'd made was these midges love nice, clear, calm evenings where there's no wind.
If that was me, I would have just turned back round.
Just go and find a pub. There won't be any midges in there, thank you.
This is just the worst.
But for Stephen, up a mountainside, the pub wasn't an option.
Because we started quite late in the evening, we didn't really have time to move anywhere else. We only had a few hours of light left. So we decided, you know what, we'll be okay. We'll stick our nets on. Look, this arm is covered in midge repellent and also midges. This is a nightmare.
And the thing about midges is they can detect you from hundreds of meters away.
They detect the CO2 that you breathe out, but they can spot you and they'll just home in. Oh, look at that. Millions of them from around just slowly make their way to wherever you are. Oh, an absolute nightmare.
The only way to get them to leave you alone is to stop breathing.
I think it was then we realised this is not going to be a fun evening. I really, really hate these midges. They're in my legs. My legs are covered.
And to make matters worse, his face net wasn't helping at all.
A mosquito net will stop mosquitoes, but mosquitoes are about 4 to 10 times larger than a midge.
So they took one look at the mosquito net and just thought, we can get past that.
It's got to be the real thing. It's got to be a midge net.
People often say they disappear after sunset. They did not. We know that smoke will often get rid of them. So we lit this small fire.
They really show up with the light from the fire.
It didn't do anything. You've got some midges on your leg. And it's horrendous. Look at your head.
There is no way you can just relax and have a good time with this going on.
We endured it as much as we could before deciding, you know what, we'll just give up and just decide to retreat to our tents for the night.
And as you can see, I'm also inside the smallest tent I own.
We should actually be more like a canvas coffin.
Barricade the fly net, zip all the layers, just try and go to sleep and ignore them. As bad as it was that evening, it was the next day that it got much, much worse.
I am just living here permanently now.
That's the trick.
What happens? I press my hand against the side of the tent for 30 seconds. I mean, a bitchy hand, friends. That is insane.
That's when I knew gonna have a really bad time packing up this tent.
A quick-thinking Stephen formulated a plan to streamline his escape.
It's impossible to get changed, really, or pack up in here. I'm gonna have to try it though, because I'm not going out there otherwise. So I somehow managed to, while lying down, deflate my mat, roll up my sleeping bag. Okay, I'll pack that as best I can. And still had to go out and pack up the tent. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's beyond doubt the worst experience I've ever had camping.
Look at this. Oh, they're putting you back.
Midges everywhere.
This is an absolute invasion.
Nightmare.
Like you're in some 1970s disaster film.
I'm breathing them in. It's literally like a form of torture.
I can't stand here. I cannot stand here.
It looks a bit like a nightmare, to be honest.
And you're just frantically rubbing in under my eyes, rubbing in my ears. They're in my hair. Your hair gets incredibly itchy.
Isn't that worse than the time I stood in a wasp nest?
It's so bad, and it pushes you almost to the point of a panic attack.
I think this net might be making it worse because they're getting in under it and they're staying in under it.
It just looks miserable, doesn't it?
Ah, my eye!
And it's relentless.
They're getting trapped in between my glasses and my eyeballs. I was itching. The more I watched it, oh, I hate them so much.
Oh, poor Stephen.
It was horrendous. One of the worst 8 minutes of my life.
Eventually, Stephen and David managed to pack up and fled the scene.
Let's get out of here.
I've never been as relieved to leave campsite as that. It was just brutal.
Well, that's going to go down in history as the worst camping experience ever.
I really sympathised with him, and that the memory of the trip was so spoiled.
It's definitely changed my view of summer wild camping from the best, most idyllic time to go camping to a potential horror show. Oh.
When working to a budget and you have kids, a package holiday is a very sensible option.
Package holiday, everything should just be seamless. That's the whole purpose of it. You can pin all your hopes on that destination and that hotel to have a great time.
If your tastes are simple, sun, food and drink at very reasonable prices and a lively nightlife, then you could do no better than holidaying in Benidorm, Spain.
Oh, Benidorm. We love it.
And along with thousands of European holidaymakers wishing to escape the winter weather, filmmaker Carlo booked a package to the famous Spanish Mediterranean resort for he and his wife and their 2 sons.
We just wanted to get away, enjoy the sun, get a bit of a tan, and just have some fun with the kids.
Once a quiet fishing village, Benidorm, dubbed the Dubai of the Med, now boasts over 300 skyscrapers and is one of the most popular holiday destinations for Brits, with millions of us visiting every year.
You know what you're guessing in Benidorm. A slice of home, but with the sun. And you can still get your fish and chips there too.
We paid roughly about £1,200 for the whole holiday, which include the hotel and food.
They snapped themselves up a real bargain for that sort of money in Benidorm. I think it might be able to get you quite far.
It's only a 2.5-hour flight from the UK to Benidorm, but already Carlo and family felt like they were on holiday.
The trip was great, kids enjoyed it.
So Carlo was feeling pretty pleased with this package purchase as they made their way to the hotel.
And I was like, are you sure this is the right place? Because it looked like a tower block. It was quite dark. Realised that the lifts weren't working. So we thought, oh, OK, we'll have to carry all the suitcases upstairs.
Not very safe. That's the outside of the balcony as you come in at night. No lights in, nothing. Absolutely horrendous.
It was pitch black. And I mean, you couldn't see a hand.
That's not acceptable, is it?
But when they switched on the lights to see what was going on...
Look at that. Look at that. Things got really bad.
It was like something out of The Exorcist, wasn't it? Terrifying.
But how are you going to sleep at night knowing that your kids are in a room where maybe the electrics are unsafe?
It was shocking. I mean, literally shocking.
Not the best of starts for Carlo and family, but tomorrow is another day, and things always look better in the morning. Don't they?
Yeah, it's amazing what light can do and what sunlight can show. Why?
Yeah, it's drawers all busted.
This is absolutely horrendous. You know, I wanted to make a coffee. The kitchen was literally falling apart. We've gone to sort of open the cupboards, and the cupboards of the kitchen wouldn't open, and the drawers were falling off, and the drawers were hanging off by the hinges.
But this is great, look, lovely bed.
Please don't make me stay there.
Headboard ain't even attached.
It was just horrendous.
Look, headboard just sat behind the bed. It's just nothing to touch to anything. I'm not a happy customer at this point.
But the worst was yet to come.
Look down there. That is disgusting. Oh, give me a break. There's nuts, cigarette packs. Now what? That is disgusting. Just pure cigarette butts and chewed bubble gum.
I don't think that was acceptable.
The bare minimum you'd expect from a package holiday is a clean hotel room.
I was like, oh, this doesn't get any worse than this. It was really, really nasty.
At last, Carlo decided enough is enough and informed the hotel reception about the room's shortcomings, but in a very casual British way.
And we're popping to the reception on the way when we go out. So we addressed them about the issues and nothing was done. At this point, we was like, right, come on, let's just go and have a really, really cool day and go out and spend our first day out in Benidorm.
Deflated, but with true Brit Dunkirk spirit, Carlo and family put their hotel miseries on hold and got out to see what the rest of Benidorm had to offer.
They did the right thing. They got out and spent the day on the beach.
All we have to do is sleep there. Doesn't mean we have to spend all day there.
Having already forked out £1,200 for the holiday, Carlo and family were determined to have a good time in Benidorm. And in the end, they did, by sneaking into the hotel next door every day and enjoying the facilities there. But they still had to return to the hotel from hell every night.
There was nothing. There was literally nothing there. The room was horrendous.
Such a shame.
Look at that. Look at that. I do want to go back to Benidorm. We'll just book a different hotel. That is disgusting.
After battling through a marriage ceremony, you deserve a honeymoon holiday, because it ain't called the wedding march for nothing.
It's meticulously planned like a military operation.
So pack your kit bag and soldier on to the honeymoon manoeuvres, where you can finally relax.
The honeymoon is just about you and your other half. You get to enjoy actually being together.
And that's precisely what South Carolina bride Sarah and her new husband wanted. After having got engaged, married and now honeymooning, all in under a year, all taking its toll.
Our goals for our honeymoon was just to spend time together and relax, because planning a wedding is a lot.
And where better than the beautiful Bahamas?
The Bahamas is absolutely the perfect honeymoon destination.
That clear water, the sand is just white as anything.
Beauty, paradise, scenic, romantic.
Perfection. They jetted off to their high-end honeymoon heaven, which at an average cost of $8,000 per couple per week had a lot to live up to.
It was definitely a proper honeymoon. It was a resort, but a smaller resort, and we stayed in bungalows right over the water. The beaches are the most beautiful beaches I've ever seen. It's crystal clear water, lots of marine life.
And it's right here that you can have a unique experience with some of the sub-aqua locals.
You can take the boat to a marina where there's the nurse sharks.
And the jaw-dropping part is, you can hang out with the nurse sharks in the water.
Wow.
It's definitely very popular among the tourists.
Apparently, quite safe to do.
Nurse sharks are known for their curious, even friendly disposition. And with an average length of 3 meters, they're only half the size of their less friendly great white cousins.
You wouldn't catch me down there, no matter how small they are.
Some people will just go and pet the sharks. Some people swim with them. And it just kind of depends on your level of adventure.
These honeymooners' level of adventure was high, and so they took the plunge. And the nurse sharks didn't disappoint.
There were so many of them, hundreds. We were so excited, and we had just a very adventurous day together.
The honeymoon was going swimmingly, but all too quickly.
It was the day before the end of the honeymoon, and we were going to pick one activity to do twice. We decided we wanted to go swim with the sharks again.
The adventurous newlyweds set off into the blue one final time.
My husband started filming to get us swimming with the sharks. The water was the most beautiful water I've ever seen. Very clear. I swam kind of towards the dock just to get our shot. Within a second, I had realized I had been bitten by the shark.
Damn! This can't be real. All of a sudden, it's there on her arm.
It just happened so fast.
Right in her face. It's girl against shark.
You could literally hear her scream underwater.
Have these people not seen Jaws?
You start to hear that very famous soundtrack.
Sharks are dangerous.
My biggest priority was just getting out of the water.
Get the hell out of there.
Away from that shark, she swam for her life.
Absolutely terrifying.
Sarah managed to get out of the water and scramble into the safety of the boat. She'd been extraordinarily lucky, but she'd been badly hurt.
It was definitely a deep flesh wound. You're in a remote area. You need to figure out where the closest nurse is.
There was nothing for it but to return to their resort, an hour's boat ride away, but their efforts were in vain.
We headed there, and the nurse was actually not on the island for the day.
And with no medical attention available before their return flight 24 hours later, they were left with no choice.
And I flew home the next day. As soon as I landed, I went straight to a doctor.
All this happens on what is meant to be their honeymoon.
Our biggest concern wasn't so much stitches, but marine bacteria can be pretty gnarly. So we just wanted to get an antibiotic in my system.
The creature had let Sarah off, not just with her life, but with the hand that bore her wedding ring.
I can't totally speak for the shark, but I would imagine that the shark just thought my hand was a piece of fish.
It's very rare with nurse sharks, but stuff happens when you're with wild animals.
Their dream honeymoon had ended in a nightmare, marring their forever memories.
Had the bite not happened, we would have been devastated to leave and, wanted to move there and stay there forever.
Nevertheless, Sarah refuses to let one rogue shark have the last say.
I would definitely swim with them again. They're amazing. I was at fault. I was in the shark's home. I was very shaken up.
In the 1950s, when commercial air travel was just starting to take off, it was a rather exclusive affair.
Aviation used to be pure glamour. It was something for the rich and famous.
That epoch of when airline travel was something unique.
People used to go to an airport like they were going to church on a Sunday. First and business class passengers were always in suits or very smartly dressed. People in economy were always dressed smartly because they were hoping they might get upgraded. There was a certain etiquette.
But now that flying is accessible to nearly everyone, standards are slipping.
You're sitting there and somebody puts their cheesy trotters onto your armrest.
Oh, that's disgusting. No, just no.
It's great that everybody can fly, but sometimes you wish that maybe one or two made a different choice.
When you get on a plane, you respect your passenger's personal space. You don't need someone's feet invading your privacy.
And if people aren't invading your space, they're treating the aircraft as though it were a beauty salon.
A DIY pedicure. 30,000 feet in the sky.
Oh my God.
People are bonkers, aren't they?
This is definitely not good plane etiquette. I think we're all in agreement that picking the skin off your feet is a big no.
That is just gross. Why would you do that? Other passengers were looking at him with disgust and he didn't care. He should have been escorted off that plane.
People have got no respect for others. It's just sad.
It's just disgusting, isn't it? Come on, hygiene. Hygiene.
Picking your feet is something you should only ever do in private.
And while it's advised to keep mobile on a flight to stop deep vein thrombosis, some people can get a little carried away.
Yoga on a plane. I mean, what the heck is that about?
It's actually quite healthy, quite advised to do some exercise, to do some stretching when you're on a flight, to keep your blood flowing.
I'm sorry, there's lots of places to do yoga. Your plane seat ain't one of them.
It's when she gets into the headstand position on the seat that, whoa, it doesn't quite feel right.
In 50 years of flying by aeroplane, I have never actually seen somebody adopt the lotus position on their head.
Why does everybody just sit there saying nothing?
Imagine if there'd been a pocket of clear air turbulence, she'd have been concertinaed.
bit weird.
I've never seen anything so ridiculous in all my life. And she wasn't even wearing a leotard. I mean, what's that about?
Leotard or no leotard, at least she kept her clothes on, unlike some inappropriate passengers.
What's going on here?
Who on earth gets on a plane with a pair of knickers and thinks, oh, I think I'll just dry them off using the aircon? It's absolutely crackers.
3 questions come to me when I see this. Whose knickers are they? How do they get wet? And what's the rush to get them dry?
Has she just taken them off?
They talk about don't air your dirty laundry in public. I think that includes being on a plane.
How long is it going to take to dry them anyway under the aircon? Well, it would take the whole flight, wouldn't it?
Clearly a very nervous flyer.
But one frequent flyer who doesn't suffer from nerves is Norwegian travel blogger Julie.
Flying is kind of meditative, and it's like a place for me to relax in between destinations. The perfect flight for me is I get in, there's nobody next to me, I have a lot of leg room, I put on some amazing music, and then I do some kind of meditative things, and I'm like planning ahead. That's like a place for me to finally relax.
But there's no such thing as a perfect flight, is there?
Never seen this before.
This woman in front of me, she has like this long, beautiful hair up in a ponytail at first. Then suddenly she just pulls that out and drapes her hair all over the seat. This was like Rapunzel letting down her hair all over the plane.
That's a lot of hair. Is that real?
I couldn't believe my eyes. I was so shocked.
That's just bad behaviour.
The lack of self-awareness.
I mean, I have that problem every time I fly. You know, where do I put my hair?
My main concern was hygiene at this point because her hair was touching my drink on the tray. I would never do that myself.
What beautiful locks it was, but you still don't want it dipped in your coffee. It's disgusting.
This is like a 4-hour flight, and I'm thinking, is she gonna keep her hair like this for the entire flight? I'm just gonna try to sleep, and that's what I did.
But even after a few hours kip, Julie's nightmare wasn't over.
I wake up, the hair is still there. She actually had it out the entire time.
How rude. It's just not acceptable. It's not okay.
As the flight landed, Julie was keen to know who the passenger was that had ruined her flight.
I was actually planning to turn around and get a look of her, but she got out before me, so I never got to see her face.
With her horrific flight finally over, Julie posted her video on social media.
Reaction was insane. People went crazy. They were telling me I should have cut it, put chewing gum in it, put food or coffee in it, close the tray table, tug it. People were raging. I have seen a lot of stuff while traveling, but this is one of the weirdest things. Maybe she was on airplane mode.